guys, it's Becky from Bex and Books, and I'm here with my first ever book review on BookTube, YouTube, whatever you want to call it, and that is of Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. And this is, I think, the UK and Australian edition, which I quite like. I like them all the editions are quite beautiful. So this one was a chunky book. It's about 823 pages. 863 pages, something like that. Sorry. So yes, this was an amazing book. It was, for such a chunky book, it was so thrilling and an amazing adventure and not boring at the very least. I had Buddy read these with two amazing women, and it made it so much more joyful and fun to share the Jamie love all around. I will get started by, I guess, explaining. I mean, obviously you know what this is about, the TV show is about. A lot of people talk about it, but I think that's what you do with reviews. Is about 1945, Claire Randall actually goes on her, I guess, second honeymoon. The war's finished, she's reunited back with her husband, Frank Randall, and they decide, why not, let's go to Scotland and the Highlands and rekindle our beautiful love and maybe make a baby, because that's what it's all about in the 1940s. And so that's what they do. And you get to know about them, how they I guess were before the war, after the war, how they are in love, and what they actually have decided to do in terms of hobbies after the war is over. So I guess Frank is a genealogist, or obsessed with his ancestors, etc. So you kind of learn a bit about who his ancestors are, especially in the 1700s, so keep that one in mind while we continue. And Claire was a nurse in the army and has decided to sort of do a hobby of the herbal types, and you can kind of see like a theme kind of happening here, like, wow, you're learning all this kind of stuff, what's gonna happen? You will learn why this is important at the very beginning, definitely throughout the book. So basically, you know, they go to these beautiful standing stones in this book, and they watch druids do a dance, which is meant to be beautiful, and the TV show shows how beautiful it is. And then she goes back on her own to check out this flower, and bam, she has gone back in time. So we're talking about back in time in the 1700s, 1743. And of course, it's actually quite funny because the first person she meets, she thinks is Frank Randall, which actually is his ancestor Blackjack, that you actually learn about when he's explaining it to her of what he has found in the genealogy side of her, or his interests. And she's all like, hey, Frank, what are you doing here? What's going on? Because she thinks it's like a movie scene. And that's what you would think too if you were in the same place, yet everything looked weird and people were dressing weird and they have guns and stuff like that. Art from your time. And it's like, sorry, stepping on a movie set here, my bad. But no, it's definitely not that happens. So lucky she doesn't like all seduce him and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, who are you? I don't know you. I'm not Frank. But he is a nasty piece of work, let me tell you that, Blackjack Randall. He's definitely opposite to, I guess, her husband. I never thought I could hate a character as much as him, but there you have it. New world record of who I hate more. It's like Umbridge and Blackjack Randall. Will you please stand up as a power couple? Let's just, yeah, that happened. No, it didn't happen in there. No, they're not married, Umbridge and him. I'm just saying. So, fan fiction, anyone? Yeah. No, I get way too distracted. So, yeah, so obviously she finds out, no, that's not him. And I'm not very good at explaining things because I'm still trying to think, what did I just read? What did just finish? I just can't get my thoughts together, and I really should. And I can tell you I enjoyed it. So obviously it goes through her kind of in that time and how she's learning to adjust to that time. And of course, when she's first there in the 1700s, it's not very good for a woman to be wearing what the 1900 women did wear. So she's kind of seen as a wench at first, but they realize when her speech and her how smart she actually is, it's actually not true. And I'm saying actually a lot because actually, you know, no. So yeah, that was sort of like the start of it. They introduce the worlds quite nice, they build it nicely, they introduce all the characters nicely, and you're kind of like, oh, I know you. I gotta say, Diana Gabaldon writes amazing. She writes like there's a story in an actual movie playing in your head. She writes like a story. I'm holding a book up, it's a story. So she writes like there's a movie playing in your head, and that's the type of writing I absolutely adore, because if you can get so into a book that you're actually playing it in your head as if it is a movie, then well done, authors. So basically I have given it a 5-star, 5 out of 5 stars, 5,000 stars, 5 million stars. I am looking forward to reading the rest of the series. I'm not sure if I've done a proper kind of review on it. I do really enjoy her writing and learning about Scotland actually. And I mean, she writes in the kind of Highlander speech style, and it was interesting and I loved it. And my boss is actually Scottish, so some of the words that I didn't understand, the dialect, I was kind of like, hey, what does you can mean? And he's kind of like, it's, you know, you understand. And he's got the full Scottish accent, so it was kind of like, oh my god, I feel like it's so real. But he's not a Jamie, so sorry, but apparently his sons are like really hot, so hey boss, bring your sons into work. I have had way too much coffee. I think I've had like 4. Yeah, go me. I'm like, yeah, cutting back on coffee. Yeah, that didn't happen. It's kind of like, oh, I'm on a diet, and then you wake up in the morning and you're not, because I don't want to be on a diet at that moment. I'm hungry. Give me food. No, so Diana Gabaldon, though they were chunky books, it was quite a fast read. Reading it in a buddy read was ever more enjoyable, like I said, because you kind of can discuss what just happened with someone instead of just turning around to some random stranger and being like, oh my god, did you see what just happened? And they're like, dude, who are you and why are you talking to me? I did not just see what happened. And without ruining things for people that you know that hasn't read it, you can actually discuss everything with these people because they've actually read that chapter with you, kind of. These are really floppy books, and I'm quite... This is going to be such a funny, ridiculous, loser-alike video, and I'm okay with that because that's what I'm all about. So I don't even know if I've like really reviewed it. I can tell you that I try to review it the best I can without spoiling things because I don't want to spoil things for people. I do recommend reading it, giving it a shot. It had been on my TBR and on my shelf along with the second one somewhere up there for quite a while, less than a year or probably a year, because I've heard so much good things about it, and because it's so chunky you kind of don't want to go towards it because you feel a bit intimidated, especially historical fiction. I don't read a lot of historical fiction, but I'm very versatile and I decided to pick it up, and I'm in love with historical fiction. I've learned so much from this book regarding Scotland. I have fallen in love with the country without necessarily going there, which I would love to go there, but learning about that culture and their style and the way it used to be back then, and the men in kilts and what's really under their kilts, because nothing secret. Shh. Just, yeah, keep that one to yourself. It's not like I actually went and stood behind someone with a kilt and blew their skirt up. Sorry, kilt up. No. They tell you in this. They just don't have pictures, unfortunately. Imagine if that's like centerboard, like, whoa, so that's what's under a kilt. No, they don't. It's a book with words. Use your imaginations, ladies. But I enjoyed it. 5 stars. You probably won't enjoy this review, but if you do, thumbs up. It's probably not much of a review. I gotta say that it left it quite interesting. I was so frustrated with the character in this book that was the meanly person, the meanie pants, grumpy pants, and there are so many reasons why. And I mean, it's, you start hating this character from the start, but by the end of it, you're like, dude, bring me back to this time so I can just like go nasty on you, so I can just like tell you how much I hate you. So yeah. Yeah, thumbs up if you like this review. If you don't like this review, just give it a thumbs up if you like my rambling, because why not? My cat's kind of looking at me over there like, just stop, Becky, just stop, just let it go. So no, we're not going to start singing Frozen, stop. No. So if you want to see more of these amazing, awesome, rambling, not so awesome videos, yeah, you heard me, because that made sense, please subscribe. No pressure or anything, you know, there might be some men in kilts on my channel. No, probably not. But yeah, I think that was it. It's a book, it's a review. It's me reviewing a book for the first time. I am so hyper, and I'm probably going to add this to the bloody video because, well, why not? It's Friday, and I am ready to eat dinner, not the book, but thank you for watching. Bye.